Hi, my name is David P. Shapiro. I'm the owner and managing partner of the law office of David P. Shapiro, located in San Diego, California, where my firm helps good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. This video, I want to talk to you about AB 1950. AB 1950 was passed into law in January of 2021, and it affects the maximum terms of probation someone could be on. For the longest time in misdemeanors, it was usually 3 years probation. You ask someone why? Well, that's what we do here in California, and specifically, that's what our standard conditions are of probation in San Diego. Felony probation, usually 3 years, but felony probation in some instances could be as high as what you could get sent to prison on. So if you get convicted of something like a child molest and you could get 8 years in prison, you could be on probation for 8 years, as crazy as that sounds. And as useless and ineffective as that really sounds, that you're really not going to be supervised at a high level for 8 years. One thing that AB 1950 did not change, it changed a lot of misdemeanors. So let's start there first. Wet reckless, petty theft, simple battery, those types of offenses, now your maximum probation period is 1 year. And that's an important thing to keep in mind looking ahead. What it did not touch, though, was domestic violence offenses. What it did not touch was misdemeanor sex offenses. So, a lot of times people think that it's this blanket rule that all probations have been shortened. That's just not the case. You need to be mindful of that. And more importantly, your attorney needs to be mindful of that when he and she is negotiating a favorable resolution of your case, if working out some sort of a plea deal is in your best interest. To look at charges and say, hey, you may want to do this deal even though it has longer probation because this affects you down the road better. Or you may want to give them this charge or agree to plead guilty to this charge, even though it might not be the strongest factual case against you, because under AB 1950, 2021 and beyond, it now is capped at 1 year. Similar type logic when it comes to felonies. So you want to make sure that you're asking your attorney these questions about, hey, I heard about this AB 1950. How long will I be on probation for? And is there any way I could get less probation? Right? Because if there's an opportunity to resolve a case for even a felony that has 2 years probation versus 3 or more, then that's something you want to be doing. And, the best approach is not to, be accusatory of your attorney, is not to be angry. Just say, hey, do you mind setting aside 15, 20 minutes so we could talk about my case and how that relates to AB 1950 and what effect AB 1950 may have on my case. I know at my firm what we've been doing in the early portions of 2021 is looking ahead or looking back at any former client that the firm has had in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and identifying former clients of the firm that may be eligible under AB 1950. It's still sort of up in the air whether or not courts and the prosecutors are going to agree that if you had a conviction and were placed on probation before 2021, would AB 1950 apply? But we're identifying those people where it might, and we're reaching out to them and saying, hey, you might be able to get your probation shortened under this new law. And it's definitely something we're looking ahead whenever we're considering resolving a case and negotiating a case with the prosecutor. One of the key factors now is this a charge that's now affected by AB 1950 or not? Because that could be something that's very important to our clients, both short-term and long-term. Also, one main factor also as well is if you're placed on probation, you successfully complete probation in nearly all offenses, you are eligible for an expungement, what's set aside and dismiss the conviction under Penal Code Section 1203.4. So having a shorter term of probation or a shorter maximum term of probation gets you one step closer to that expungement as well. So I hope you found this video helpful. Hope it gave you some tips of what you could look at, what you can consider, what you could possibly raise to your attorney in California as it relates to AB 1950. If you have any questions about your case or AB 1950 and how it may affect your current or past case, feel free to give my firm a call at 619-295-3555.